Atlanta, Georgia during Passover week. I'm ridiculously excited. You know what I mean? As a young man, I used to fight, wrestle, became city champion, went to the States, loved it. Back here with other hella five warriors, General Muhammad, football, other brothers, other sports, Haas. All tons of these brothers been into all kind of stuff, man. Some been in real wars and real battles and real throwdowns, you know what I'm saying? I got Captain Kaposh over here. He one of the 8. Somebody ever mentioned the 8 to you? It means this was one of 8 men that fought the whole city, Kentucky. You understand? And say again? Louisville, Kentucky, during the riots with Black Lives Matter. And these brothers warred on to blood. You understand? This is an honorable war. He came through that fight. He won that battle. And then went on to build his camp and went on to build camps in the Caribbean. Dominican Republic, assisted with Haiti. What other camps built out? Puerto Rico. Now this camps all over. Like, these are the kind of men that come up in here. These is not regular niggas, man. Okay? These is brothers that really understand what it means to be faithful to the thing that you stand on. You understand? This is greatness. You're watching greatness before your eyes. You're watching the Lord hand down great work to more and more great brothers. So, we at Hebrew Academy. We doing all our thing. But let me run it back down to you from the beginning. Hebrew Academy started by Chief Head Priest Marshall. He started this way back in the 80s. I happened to be, through the grace and mercy of the Lord, in one of those early camps. And so every Sunday, and that's the thing, we used to have to come out every Sunday for the year. So every Sunday, we would come out to the field. And everything you see us doing here, we would do then. And some enhancements. Big shout out to Captain McCard as usual, man. The head instructor for the Hebrew Academy. You understand, under the generals, has advanced the Hebrew Academy and added more to the whole production. So then Marshall would bring us out on Sunday. And we would start with our martial arts. We'd start 6 in the morning every single Sunday. And it was heavy because we'd be out partying Saturday night and all of that, and then kill that if you can. All right, he would start out early Sunday morning, and we'd be out partying Saturday night, and we'd come in as young man and had to get up Sunday morning and grind out in Hebrew Academy, and that's how it started. You know what I mean? Of course, at the time it had to develop, so he started it on Saturdays. We started to build it up. We'd get out there, we'd do our martial arts, do our training, our fighting, all of that. And then we would graduate and we would go forward. General Muhammad came in later. Did we have covers in the past? We did, so my bad. We had covers way back in the day, but we had stopped it after certain things went down. But General Muhammad brought the covers back into the game. And then the brothers started wearing the covers again because General Muhammad got us back up and running with it. You know what I mean, with the Hebrew Academy before he passed it on to the head instructor, who's the head instructor now, which is Cap McCod. So that's how the Hebrew Academy started. Marshall knew that men need to be trained. Marshall was very wise to understand that men had to have the things that men need to have to be men. And so he focused on those things as we were learning and growing in the scripture. And the Hebrew Academy was one of those things. And the Hebrew Academy was brutal. Back then, the school was brutal. You know what I mean? We'd throw you down the stairs. If you didn't act right and you was hard-headed, we'd just throw you down the stairs. Don't nobody do that now. You know what I mean? I witnessed cats get thrown out the window and all that from the 2nd floor, bust their head open, and told them to never come up in here and speak about that again. We was extremely radical and a little ignorant, and it was beautiful. And we was that way because we were just coming off some of the most horrible events that we had. First of all, the Muslims came up and attacked and killed the head of the school before we became the official ISUPK. And so as a result, it let us know that while we have this truth, that we also got to be prepared to protect ourselves and protect our family and to defend ourselves. And that's exactly what we trained to do. And it's beautiful and healthy. A lot of brothers discover ailments that they had and get them treated. You know, in the hood, you don't go to the doctor very often because you're trying to survive. You're working hours, all the psychological warfare that Esau pours down on you. And so now that you come and you start training, you start to find out certain things might be wrong with you. You start to find out some of your shortcomings, and you start to find out some of your best and what you're really good at. And once again, it helps us greatly. Like, we've gotten lazy here, to a certain respect in terms of watching over ourselves. I'm not saying that every man got to train like he's in the woods somewhere, but we have to remember that we live among a man who will pull all our rights if he have the opportunity to. He don't care about that. And that's why, what's the name of the brother who stabbed the Edomite?
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony?
The one in Texas, he stabbed Austin Metcalf.
Right. Carmelo Anthony.
Count.
His name is ringing out all over the internet, and for good reason. Because black people realize that we are on the verge of attack by these people who have bought into the idea of America's white supremacy and racism. And because of that, black men are training. Black women are training. And they're training not to go harm nobody, but to protect themselves. Because we know certain people are soul winners. They could rule the earth and they'll still hate you. They could be in charge and they'll still do you in. So we understand that. So now brothers want to really protect themselves. If you have a son, it's always said black men like to walk away from their family. Black men don't take care of their kids. But what you don't understand is this society, and you'll never believe what I'm saying, but your psychologists and others will tell you this to be true, that you train black men to not be able to love their children because you can't love your child if you don't have the right to protect your child. So we have to go through life having children and trying to love our children while you take away our rights, give them away to women, take away our rights, give them away to homosexuals, tell us what we can and can't teach our children, stop us from raising up our sons. And so black men give up because you break their spirit. That's why they give up. But you know what? It's a new day. Take a look up on that hill. Take a look at that hill. This is a new day. These are new men. Their hearts are changed for righteousness. They're not criminals. They're not drug dealers. They're not gangsters. They're not terrorists. They're not any of those things. They're simple men seeking to understand the Bible and walk in righteousness. And whatever that takes, they want that. And they're supposed to be allowed to have it. Every man has a right to procreate, protect his family, take care of his family. And these brothers are no different. You just don't like when they do it because you're afraid of them.
And what do you got to do? Oh, we call our Hebrew Academy. So we the Israelite School of UPK, we're a national-wide organization. We teach blacks and Hispanic and Native American Indians that we're the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel according to the Bible, right? So we do a lot of these brothers, we come from the inner city communities, shanty towns, some of us is from Haiti, Dominican Republic. When we come and we just teach them discipline, so we're doing exercises, push-ups, drills, things like that, little self-defense, just to keep brothers disciplined, keep them out the streets, keep them out of trouble, keep them out of y'all hands.
You're afraid of the great spirit that's inside them and what the Lord might do with them.
My name is Jack Lindner. I'm a reporter for the Marietta Daily Journal.
And what brought you out here?
We heard about the event that's going on here today, and so we just wanted to come by and see what was going on. So we're just interested in covering it.
What do you think about it so far?
I'm not at liberty really to give any opinion. So approximately how long are you guys going to be out here?
We might be out here for a couple more hours.
A couple more hours?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think y'all are accomplishing your goal here today?
What do you think?
I'm not sure.
Hey, when was the last time you ever seen an organization do this in this area? Or when was the last time you had to do a story or go and collect information about something in this realm?
You're afraid of that. And I can't help your fear. I can't give you a pill to solve your fear. What you've done before the Lord under the heavens is your crime. And you got to face that crime. Take another look at it. Even in wheelchairs, in any condition, they want this. And you don't want them to have it. You want to be the only one feeding. the only one everyone's afraid of. You don't want anyone to have their own self-help. You say get off the welfare. You say get off the welfare. You say stop asking for a handout. Well, here they are. They're not asking for a handout. They're not asking for your welfare. They're trying to escape it. That's what Hebrew Academy has always been about. I came to Harlem, man, as a young man at 18, looking for a life, looking to do something, and found this truth. The first sense and spirit that came over me was, I'm gonna be a free, independent, strong black man that's not gonna have to go begging another man. And that's what these brothers want. That's Hebrew Academy. That's what it's always been. That's what it was back in the 80s under the great Marshal of 1 West 125th Street, ISUPK, home of the truth since 1969. That's what it's going to be in the future, man. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai.
That's not how it should be, man. This scripture that Christ had told his disciples is how you stop crime as a whole. Because when you go to him and him alone, and for you sisters out there who love the beef and who don't like to talk to another woman about, you know, how she, you know, treated you, you sisters need to go to her alone as well.
Nobody is holding you accountable for the things that you say you were doing or not doing. You know, there's no, like the scriptures say, everything should be done in decency and in order.
That's right.
There's no order and decency with you going on the internet and running in the streets with no guidance, without being sent, without being anointed by the man of the Lord, by being sent by a man of God out there on them streets. You must be sent.
When you hear us say a salute, Shalom Yahweh Shem Shabbat, right? That is Hebrew. Okay? Shalom, Shalom, that is not Hebrew. I don't know where you learned that from, most likely from Esau, from the Jewish. On the street corners. And we ain't selling dope, but we are teaching you how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We are teaching you how to not be a drug addict and a drug dealer.
Right.
How to keep you out of prison. How to not make you a target for Esau to use. All right, let's clap it up. Hey, Shalom Yahweh, Shalom Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Barakatham to the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shamar, Alatha Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to the sisters, all right? ISUPK, Minnesota. I am priest and officer 5000 Maccabia with the Brotherhood class, as you may know, every single Tuesday. Okay. Excuse me, having a little sickness going on. All right. Salaki. All right, y'all bear with me. However, once again, this is the Brotherhood class. That's for Black, so-called Black Latinos and North American Indians. This is a class where we speak about the things that plagues our everyday communities, all right? Our Black and brown communities. Once again, there's a lot that's happening concerning, you know, our people. Within the last couple of months, up until now, with the election, with war still going on, there's been after effects. There's things still running rampant. That has to, you know, be put to a stop. And of course, with the Bible, with the help of the Bible, thanks, you know, to the Most High in Christ, you know, we have these records where it actually teaches us and shows us how to, you know, conduct ourselves, how to live our everyday lives, how to be accountable, how to be responsible, how to be our best selves. And this is what the Bible entails, all right? However, what I'm going to teach you today, you cannot find this in the, what is it called? In the Christian church, the Muslim mosque. You can't find it there. And why is that? Because that is the house of Satan. Okay, it's the house of Satan, and nothing comes good out of the Christian church except for lies, which is not good. It's good for our oppressor, because that is his greatest device, is to tell lies. That's why you get the, you know, that's where you get the term from called white lies, because it comes from our oppressor, who is the pink man. Okay? All right, so, or pink toes is how you know, I used to hear it when I was growing up, right? So once again, there are so many things that are plaguing our communities that we do not talk about, that we don't really discuss, we don't find a solution to. And this is the class where you can speak and talk about all of those things that we all experience as a nation of people. If you are in the hood, the bios, the reservations, this is a class for you, and specifically you only. All right, if your daddy, because you are the seed of your father, if your daddy, whether you know him or not, right, if he is a so-called Black, Latino, Native Indian, once again, this is all for you. Not everybody has access to this, because this is not for everybody. You're probably wondering, well, okay, you know, if you teach in class, how come it's not for everybody? Because, you know, God does not, you know, talk to everyone. And he has sent prophets and priests out into the world to speak to his people, which are the three I just named. If you so-called African American, Haitian, not African, by the way, Africans are not our people. If you are Venezuelan, Colombian, Dominican, Puerto Rican, all right, Mexican. If you are a Seminole Indian, North American Indian, West Indian, this is for you. If anybody has any questions or concerns, please type it into the chat, because we love and enjoy to answer questions. Once again, you're not going to get questions about the Bible anywhere else. The moment that you try to raise your hand, and, you know, in the church, they try to shun you and just, you know, continue on telling lies. If you show them this Bible and you show them that God's people are a chosen people and is not speaking to everyone, they will try to run you out of the church. Okay? Because they don't want those tithe money to go down. They don't want you to find the truth. They want you to believe in the lies, so that way they can feed themselves and just be the grittiest bastards that they are. So once again, there are a few things that we have to touch on. All right, we got war. We got the fight that was broadcasted on Netflix. With Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I mean, there's so many other topics that to dive into. If you got questions, ask your questions, and I'll jump right into it. Okay, no questions asked. No pun intended. However, so where should I start? Oh, the election as well. As you see, it was always meant for Donald Trump to be the president of the United States again. It was very obvious. Although it seemed like there was a lot of promotion and a lot of people backing up Kamala Harris. You have to understand, the president has been chosen before you cast your vote. And once again, it lets you know, everyone says that your vote matters. Apparently it does not, because the Electoral College, they choose ahead of time. And even, I gotta find that video, because you might not believe it coming from my mouth. There was a, I believe he was a mayor or a senator. I forget his name. I literally just saw this video the other day. This white man said that your vote really does not matter, because the Electoral College is the one that chooses the president before you decide, before the public decides to cast your vote. Now, however, the Electoral College is not a physical college. It's just a group of a body of people who are prominent, who are the ones that sit in that seat behind the scenes. And they make the decision on who is the best fit for this state or this country, I should say. Okay? Also, too, you black people, you black women, you should be ashamed of yourself for trying to blame black men when Donald Trump got most of the black vote. besides Kamala Harris. So everybody, you know, it looks like Kamala is getting all of the black votes. She's busting her behind and just really underwater, doing whatever she can to get the black or Hispanic vote. And Donald Trump beat her in more than one way. More than one way. And you want to blame black men when there's black women that voted for Donald Trump as well. So please stop it. Okay? Mind you, Donald Trump showed you in your face that you are nothing but a piece of garbage. And you still voted for him. If Kamala Harris was to win the vote or to become the president of the U.S., I'm gonna let you know right now, nothing would have changed at all. She would have been more nicer, and she would have been more sneakier behind your back as she decided to destroy this place. Tell me one good president who ever ruled the United States. And mind you, I've done my research, extensively. I've done my research extensively of a lot of presidents that never had your favor. And their secrets have been always exposed right in front of your face. But because you don't understand, this game that's being played, because politics is nothing but a game. So many people take politics so serious to the point where it would change your relationships with people. That's what happened with the whole, Kamala didn't win, so you chose Trump, and my views about you, you are not my friend. Oh, you are not my husband, my wife anymore. Oh, I can't be around you. All because you are in your feelings. Just understand, Kamala Harris is no different than Trump. Hillary is no different than Trump. I mean, also too, Hillary Clinton has been exposed for many years, and people even black women wanted her to be president. Like Obama was no different, and Obama is not even black. He's not a so-called African American. He's just an African. And also too, Obama has talked trash about so-called African Americans, and also has separated himself in many, many interviews. If you paid attention, just because he has a black face, just like Kamala Harris, you think that they are for you when they are against you. Okay? Now, you should never vote for anybody that is not your people. That's the first mistake. You thought that Kamala Harris was your people. That's why you voted for her. And you also voted for her because she's a woman. Like, come on now, let's be logical and be for real. You was that thirsty to see a woman who you thought was black, or a woman, period, like Hillary Clinton, who you thought was black, to be in office. And look where it got you. Obama too. No, Obama hasn't done nothing for us. No president has done nothing for the minorities of this place. Nothing at all. If you say for Donald Trump that stimulus check, you are out of your mind. Because honestly, with this place being as rich as it is, mind you, when the stimulus check and COVID-19 came about, they were frustrated and going back and forth on making decisions about how much they should give to each place on the face of the earth, not just America, but everywhere. COVID affected the entire effing earth, man. It affected everywhere. And especially the US, they was complaining on how much money they should give every so often. You know what I mean? And America is worth trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. And that just came out recently. And they was complaining about I mean, the stimulus check was like what, like 1,200? I think the first one might have been like 600, and then later they bumped it up to 1,200. And that's the thing. America is a business, and that's all they do is do business, and they like to keep you out of that business. But the Lord made them give up that money, because the Most High is making this place crumble down little by little. Understand that everything that happens in this place is for your sake. Now, how do you expect to stop poverty, to stop the unalivings, to stop, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your mother, your family from all the horrific things that happens to us daily, every year, every few minutes? How do you expect things to change if you don't change? How do you think marching, you think protesting, rioting, you think voting is going to change this place? Are you serious? Are you truly out of your mind? You know how the Christian church, they say that you need Jesus? You need this law, statutes, and commandments. Because without them, you have no soul, you have no mind, there are no morals. You are just like your oppressor, simple and dark. But I digress. Let's see here. All right, let me check some real quick. Give me one moment. Let me see. Yeah, let me check some for y'all real quick. One thing that we gotta stop being is very simple. We have to stop being gullible to what's happening around us. We have to understand who we are up against. This oppressor is very good at what he does, and you'll fall for the trap and the snare all the time, every time. And once again, if you want to change the situation of police brutality, drug addiction, sexual violations, unalivings, substance abuse, whatever the case may be, we have to be a people that have morality and standards. And with that, you will get wisdom, understanding, discipline. And that's the very thing that's going to make us as so-called African Americans, Latinos, Latinas, North American Indians. That's what's going to allow us to surpass our enemies every time. Every time. Understand, the Most High told us what would happen if we kept his laws, statutes, and commandments. And then on the flip side, in the next chapter, he told us what would happen if we did not obey. So actually, let's really start off with that. Let's really start off with that. I think I like that. Okay. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get that real quick. All right. Let me see something here. Actually, so like I mixed that around. So there's one chapter that tells us what's going to happen if we decide to obey the Lord. And then there's another chapter that tells us, which is right after, what's going to happen if we decide to disobey. All right. Let me see here. One moment. Give me a second here. Okay, I'll just Let me see. Give me 1 second here. Oh, okay. Here we go. So, all right. So in the same chapter, in Deuteronomy chapter 28, you specifically see that there are going to be blessings for us, right? If we decide to serve the Most High and obey and do a lot of other things. Now, if you decide to go against that, then the Most High is going to punish us. That's what's happening right now. Right now, today, within the last week or two, what has happened is a lot of bodies have been disposed. A lot of demises have happened with all the unalived and homicides. Right now, today, or as of yesterday, there has been 28 homicides, right? There has been 28 homicides this year in Minnesota alone. Now, let me show you how much it was in the previous years. Okay, let's see. All right, so just recently, a brother had got shot by where I live, and he was rushed to the hospital that's near by my home, right? And he had got shot last week on the 15th, but as of yesterday, I believe yesterday or today, this morning, it was reported that he passed away from his injuries. Okay, because he had got shot in the head. Now, you can get shot in the head and survive sometimes, and then you can get shot in the head and not survive. However, this brother lost his life. He fought for his life, and it was lost. Now, as far as, is there any witnesses or what is the backstory, we don't know, which is terrible. That brother could be living his life right now if the Lord was with him. You got to ask yourself, a lot of people always ask, why, God, why? The answer is always in your face, always. And you may not see it right away. I get that. You might ask yourself, why did this happen to me? Why did that happen to her? Why am I going through this? Why are they going through that? Why was I robbed? Why was I shot, stabbed? Why did I lose my children, my family? You may have a lot of questions. And the one question that you should always know, or the answer to that question is, this is called the condition of the battle. Okay? The condition of the battle, meaning that because of our actions towards our God, is the reason why all of these things have happened. And they will continue to happen until our actions show that we obey our God. And I'll get into that more in depth. But I want to get into this. It says this shooting marks the 28th homicide this year in St. Paul, Minnesota. There were 32 in the city in 2023. And a record 40 homicides in 2022. I precisely remember that. I remember towards the end of December, going closer into, it was year 22, going into 2023, that it was, 40. About 40 or a little bit more homicides in 1 year, just in one city alone. And St. Paul surpassed Minneapolis, when Minneapolis has been known for a lot of murders, a lot of unalivings. But now both of these cities, which is called the Twin Cities, they both are rough. Okay? All right, so I'm going to get off of that real quick. Let me go ahead and read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Now, and it shall come to pass, meaning this is Moses. And Moses is saying that it shall come to pass. When someone says it shall come to pass, what that simply means is that it will happen. It's going to come in the future. It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon enough. It's going to happen, right? If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Now, hearken diligently means to listen with the focus, right? Because the word diligent, let's see, let's get the word diligent, see what it means. Because off the top, there's so many words like that's, I want to say diligent is more like a zeal that you may have. Yeah, so there we go. Diligent, characterized by steady, earnest, and energetic effort. All right, so diligent is you having that zeal to do something. It's that want. It's that fight. It's the desire of you wanting to, just do something. If you are a person who is a mechanic and you love cars, you are going to be diligent on fixing that car. If you like to, read, you want to read a certain amount of books for, quite some time, for like, you got a goal. And that goal is I want to read 50 books in 2-3 months. So you are diligent in that. Now, when it talks about this in the Bible, it says that you must hearken diligently, meaning that you must listen and pay attention and have the zeal to obey these words, right? To observe and to do all his commandments. To observe something means that you are looking at it, whatever that might be. You are looking at it and you are observing it. You are analyzing it. And when it comes to the Bible, what people do in religious groups, because the ISUK is not a religious group, right? What people do that do not study the Bible properly, they don't observe, okay? Like people learn the Bible from the word of mouth. It's never, they actually study the Bible. A lot of people read from a doctrine mindset, which is very dangerous because that's what the churches teaches. They have you read like the Jewish man, like the oppressor, okay? Where they think everything is very physical. When this Bible is not physical. Some parts can be physical, but this book is made of literary devices. Okay? If you don't know what that is, you might want to, go back to school for English class. All right? Metaphors, allegories, parables, so on and so forth. Okay? Wise teaching, dark sayings. And this book is not, everybody's not going to get what the message is. Not everybody's going to be able to break down this Bible how they should. And once again, it's not about your own interpretation. This is not one of those type of books. This is a record book. As it says, it's what it says. As you read it, that's what it says. You can't add, you can't subtract from what you're reading. Now, if you do not truly understand, talk to someone who does understand the Bible, a professional, which is a prophet and priest of the Most High. It's not your grandmother. It's not your pork chop eating pastor. All right? It's not that woman deacon who runs her household when the household should be ran by the man. It's not that child, it's not that uncle who touches you inappropriately. That cousin. They don't have the answers when it comes to this book. And the Bible goes against all of that. All right? Anyway, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. So he's not talking about yesterday or tomorrow, like right now. The order is like it's giving you an order to observe and to do. It didn't say optional to do. it said and to do, meaning something that you must do. Because if you don't do this thing, it's not going to end well. Okay? Just like, for example, with these instructions, think of a parent. The Most High is a parent. But think about your actual parents that you're born from. If they tell you and they give you a instruction, you are supposed to what? Obey it. Wash those dishes. Take out the trash. Help out with this. Do that. Don't touch the stove. Don't go outside. Don't hang around them. Don't go in that area. Okay? Put a coat on. Put a hat on. All right? Wash your hands before you eat. Make sure you get in the shower every day. This is no different. Like, for example, like it's so crazy to me because the Most High, nobody should have to tell you not to steal. But it's understandable when you are in poverty, when you are in hell, because you are oppressed. But the only thing that's going to fix that is if you had these morals about yourself. Because there is a way to live your life and a place that says that you are doomed anyway. And you can still thrive and survive. And a lot of people who do not understand that is going to be the entertainers of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. They think, okay, once I get this money, I gotta move somewhere else to where I can raise my family and do this and do that. If everybody had morality, if everybody cared about each other and had true love to the point where no matter what you have or you don't have, I will never take from you. I will never steal from you. I will never, like, for example, if you truly love your brother or you sisters truly love your sisters and vice versa, you will never do anything to hurt each other. And there's many ways that you could harm somebody. All right? For example, talking bad about somebody. You wanna put hands on somebody because you're upset about something. Instead of you talking it out, you wanna unalive this person. Damn, like what happened to, us having some type of compassion and love for each other? Like we are a laughing stock to our enemies that are round about us when we do exactly the things that we do. And although we are in oppression, there's no excuse. Of course, blame the oppressor first and then take accountability. And then that's when you change. And once you change your ways and you are strong and have that zeal to keep those laws, your enemies cannot do anything to you. They can try, but the Most High is going to be there to protect you. There have been many times, as far as stories that we hear in the ISUPK, where our enemies try to do something to us, try to catch us up, and they fail because the Lord is with us. And that lets you know who the Lord truly is with and who is not with. Now, you have to decide all the time. Is the Lord with me? Am I with him? Because every decision that you make, everything that you do in your everyday life, you have to be mindful. Your actions, because it doesn't only affect you, it can affect those around you as well. And usually it does. Okay? Let's keep it going. Let me see here. All right. To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. and I was just speaking about this. When we obey the Most High, when we decide not to have a substance problem, want to sleep with a woman that already has a man, which is absolutely wrong and disgusting and very hateful. It's covetous. You have stole something from someone else, their woman, okay? When you actually take someone's possession, which is a woman, or their spoils, their good, whatever the case may be. What else? I mean, unaliving somebody. Like, that puts us behind. Like, imagine a world where there is no crime amongst the Black and brown communities. Imagine that we stuck together and only with each other to the point where our enemies look at us and they see that we are unified and that they are not allowed in here. Okay? Like Black people, you say that you want to invite, everybody to the cookout. Everybody's not invited to the cookout. And that's literal, by the way. In the ISUPK, we have cookouts. Only Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, or Latinos and North American Indians are invited. There's nothing wrong with you having something that's only yours. The last time I checked, when we decide to include everybody, it gets destroyed. It gets gentrified. It's not ours anymore. It's theirs. And then somehow, as soon as you let them in the house, who runs the house? The Asians, the Africans, the Chinese, Japanese, the Arabs, the white man. As soon as we allow them into our space, that space gets crowded and corrupt every time. For example, when it came to segregation, segregation was the best thing that happened to Black people. The best thing. Because we had our own everything. The moment that we decided to listen to people like, Martin Luther King, we lost our businesses over time. Our dollars were going to another people's pockets instead of our money circulating within our own people. Integration was the worst thing that ever happened in this earth. And you know what? It's still happening. How can you say Black Lives Matter when Black Lives Matter is not even Black no more? Honestly, it never was to begin with. Really, Black lives is all lives. And Black Lives Matter movement has been exposed and shown to be weak. It shows itself not to be, strong. Why is that? Because we allowed the same people that we are trying to fight against because of the crime and hatred that's happening to us, we let them in. We let them in. What's what? I mean, I don't know, man. Like, what in the hell is your problem? We decide to let them in. Why is that? Because, that's my friend, that's my wife, that's my husband, that's my coworker. They stand with us. They are a good ally. Garbage. Excuses. Now, can you be cordial with the people that do not look like you? Absolutely. Am I saying that you should commit the same crimes that they do to us? Absolutely not. Do not be simple. Have some wisdom. Have a brain in your head, right? But however, learn how to separate everything. Everything doesn't have to be clumped together. Everybody doesn't need to be in your space. And that can mean in a lot of different aspects. Okay? Black people are the oil. Hispanic, Latinos, and Native Americans are the oil. We have substance. We have the flavor. When we try to mix with the water, which are the other people, it doesn't work. Even water, even oil and water, it separates itself. That's us. The more that you try to join with them, the more it just shows separation is needed. And you know, so funny, even when you love those white people, those white women, you brothers out there, you love those different exotic women, or you sisters, those exotic men. You try to live your life based on how they live their life, their culture. Your culture is gone, but now you follow their culture. Look at all the most famous black men in Hollywood that we love, and they are with the other nations and not their own people. Man, let me see. Jordan Peele, Terrence Howard, Taye Diggs. I mean, the list goes on. You get where I'm going. These sisters out here too, who you think are with a black man or with a Hispanic or Native American man. No, they are with somebody else's man and woman that are not our people. They are with somebody else's tribe or people, nation of people. It's not a coincidence. All right, and I want to say that to get into this real quick. Let me get Matthew chapter. No, let me see something. Here we go. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. And it reads, "Ye are the salt of the earth." And this is Christ, by the way. It's all in red. Because Christ knew who the hell he was. And he knew who not to be, but who to be, right? Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt hath lost his savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. So I'll read that again. Ye are the salt of the earth, right? Meaning that you have everything. You have the flavor. You have the talent. You have the substance. Everything about you is great and glorious. Okay? And I'm going to jump into Mike Tyson and them in a second, right? But everything that you touch, everything that you do, that you put your hand to, you are absolutely amazing and great in it. All right? Tell them that I'm lying. With the whole Mike Tyson thing, any arena that we are into, basketball, football, soccer, baseball, tennis, we dominate. We are the salt. We bring this place flavor. We give it something that it never had when it comes to the other nations, right? Give me 1 second there. It is thenceforth good, or Salakia. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt hath lost his savior, meaning his flavor, right? Wherewith shall it be salted? So if we lost our flavor, then what? It's the question, then what? Okay? It is thenceforth good for nothing, right? So we are the salt of the earth, but we lose our flavor because we give it to who? Somebody else that does not have the flavor, does not deserve it. Like, once again, you got to learn how to be selfish when it comes to your people. You can't give your goods and values, all your goods and values to a people who are just going to suck you dry. Our enemies are opportunists who look for every opportunity to take everything from you. It's called a vampire. All right? Let me see. But to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot of men. To be trodden underfoot of men, meaning that now that you have lost your Savior, now you're under somebody else. Now they have the upper hand on you. Now their boot, now your head, you're at the bottom of their shoe. And that's what's happening right now. We are at the bottom. Is my main point of that. We are absolutely at the bottom. How do you know? Because we are not in control. Black men, you know, I hear brothers all the time. They say like, you know, oh, black men, you know, oh, we run this, we run that, X, Y, and Z. I mean, where? I mean, I got you. I mean, but where are we running anything? I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. Where are we in control of anything at all in this earth? Last time I checked, I mean, our enemies are the ones that run everything in this entire earth. And you are the minority everywhere. You are the scum of the earth in their eyes everywhere. If you go to Russia, there's racism. They don't like you. America, forget about it. Venezuela, Haiti, I mean, Europe, China, Japan, Germany, you name it all. Africa, when there's so many places within Africa, right? You know, because Africa is not like a damn state, how people try to make it seem. Africa is made up of so many states and continents and things of that sort. Like a lot of people try to make it seem like Africa is just this one big thing. No, it's broken up. All right. Like, come on now, like, stop being silly. So I say all that to say we have gave ourselves away as a people. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there real quick because I'm still gonna touch on the topic of the oppressor and Israel as well, and just a few other things on top of that. All right, let me see. All right, 1 second here. Let me go ahead and check some real fast on YouTube real quick. Let's see. Okay. So as we all know, when it comes to war, right? America has been going to war for such a long time. A lot of other different countries have as well. You know, a long battle that's been going on, that's been getting, you know, media attention as of recent for quite some time now, about a couple of years or so, is Russia and Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine have been firing back to back. Now it looks like Ukraine got the upper hand on Russia. All right, using America's military, you know, just military weapons. Okay. So as you know, Ukraine and Russia are, you know, best buds. Is how you know they would say it. And Russia, you know, is taking the L at the moment, but of course they are going to bounce back. I believe at the end of this, you know, Russia just might win this battle. We shall see, though. All right, we shall see. So with that being said, a lot of different other wars are happening. Of course, Israel and Palestine are still going back and forth. It's been said that you know, places like Taiwan, China, Iraq, and Iran, just, you know, certain parts of these places, these countries, are definitely just going back and forth to the point where, once again, this is what the Lord wants. It's going to get worse, and it's getting very close. And little by little, with everyone attacking each other, the Lord is trying to show the earth really what time it is. This war is not just all about the money, all about the oil, all about the resources. The Most High has a plan that is set in place for us to have salvation as so-called African Americans, Latinos, Latinas, and North American Indians. All of this is for your sake. And if you have not realized that by now, it's time for you to open up your eyes. I want you to really understand what is the purpose of these wars that are happening. I'll tell you why. Let's go ahead and get it. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Now, this is Christ. And Christ is speaking to the disciples as well. See that ye be not troubled, meaning see that you not be afraid or terrified that these wars and rumors of wars that you hear of are going to come about. And you would think like wars back in the time of Christ and the disciples, absolutely there was wars. If you look at the book of Judges, the book of Chronicles, Kings, you know what I mean? So you got so many books where it spoke about how we went to war with other nation of people. And when you see Russia and China and Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, those are nations of people that are going against each other. It has never changed. And it won't change up until we get to the far, far end, when the Most High reveals all prophecies. All right? And once all those prophecies are revealed, just understand that it's time to go home. But in order to go home, meaning this, not saying go to heaven, meaning that the kingdom will be established in the sense of, Christ is going to return and destroy this place. Finally, it will be over for us. Our pain and suffering will be no more. And that's the plan. That's the game plan. Our game plan is not to join hands in hands with everybody, because it's not going to happen. And if you are someone that, loves your enemies more than you love yourself and your own people, just understand that you may be destroyed with them. I'm sorry, you will be destroyed with them if the Lord doesn't show mercy on you. But if you want to ensure that you have the protection of the Lord, you are going to have to let go of, your oppressors. You are going to have to let go. You are going to have to say goodbye before it's too late. You are going to have to stop dealing with interracial women, or stop having interracial marriages. You're going to have to put down that plant. Anything regarding smoke and you puffing it, you got to put it all down. Anything smoking related. You got to put down that thing that is going to cause you to be destroyed by the Lord. Either you can stop now, or just wait for the judgment to come. All right? Because it can come at any time. All right? If that's how you want to live, which is death, then, so be it. That's your choice, which we don't have a lot of choices at all. The Most High advises us of what needs to be done. And if that job is not done, then it's not going to look good for you or anyone else in that situation. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Salaki. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right? So although these things are happening right now, as far as wars and rumors of wars, just understand that the end is not yet. Okay? We are getting close. We are getting there. It's taking time. All right? It's taking time, but we are going to get there. There's no date or time of Yahweh Shai, who is Jesus Christ, as the world ignorantly calls him, there is no date or time of his arrival. So it can be any moment now. It can be in 5 seconds. It can be tomorrow, 50 years, 20 years, 2 years, next year. There's no telling. In the next 5 minutes. But however, what are you willing to do right now today in order to ensure your spot of going up to those chariots, to ensure your spot that you and your family are going to be protected when that time does come? Whether you die in the lifetime before he comes, or when you are alive at the time when Christ does come, you have to make up your mind. You can't be lukewarm. You can't say that you want to serve God, but you're doing the opposite. You have to choose. And I would choose wisely if I were you. All right. Because there's not a lot of time. You don't have the next 5 years. You don't even have 5 minutes. That's how bad it is. If you have not seen, if you have not looked outside your window, it is a war zone. It's literally a war zone. It's terrible outside. Like how did my brother Knox say it? He was like, it's a war outside. And you have to be prepared for the war. Otherwise, you are going to die in it. You are going to lose your life in it. Okay? Let's drop that. Let me see. Where we at? Now, I'm going to touch on this. If you ever ask this question, why is war happening the way it is? I got an answer for you. If you are one of those people who, you are about peace, love, not war, you just want to hug and kiss everybody and just, be friends with everybody and not argue, this is for you. This is in the book of this is in the Apocrypha. The book is Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28. Okay? And it reads, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. I'm going to stop right there. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. So now, what does that mean? There be spirits created for vengeance. So spirits are very much real. And when you read the Bible, you read about different types of spirits. And there are many different types of spirits, right? And this spirit is of vengeance, of war, right? Because the vengeance is coming from the Most High due to the fact that his chosen people have been mistreated unjustly. Unhumane acts have happened before, today, and it's going to happen right after. The Most High is angry at our enemies that you call family, that you call friends. The Most High is angry at our enemies that you love so much. And you should be disgusted with yourself because the Lord is. You should hate what the Most High hates. You telling me that, I understand. You say all white people ain't bad. I get that. I understand you. But as a nation of people, they have did terrible things and they still are. All the other rest of the nation of people, they are in the same boat as well. Those that never did anything to you, they will have to pay as well because of their forefathers. And there's nothing that anyone can do to stop it. All right, just like you suffer because of your ancestors or your forefathers and foremothers, they have to suffer too. Okay? I mean, have you ever thought of that before? You suffer because of your family, that neighborhood, that block, your race of people. And then they get off the hook because of all of the crimes that have been committed against you. Oh, it was in the past. It was in the past. It's happening today. And it's going to happen tomorrow. So you think that the Lord should not give you, as a so-called African-American, Latino, and a Native Indian, justice? So they should be left off the hook. That's not how life works. Because if you commit a crime, you will pay for it. If you do something to break the law, you answer for it. And what has happened to Black and Hispanics, or so like it, Black, Latino, Native Indians forever, is we have been mistreated. And crimes have been done against us. Offenses, crimes, I just said that, sins, unhumane things that a human being should never think to do to a person. It lets you know that your enemies don't have love. They don't have a soul. They don't have a heart. They are just a demon. That's the best way I can tell you. They are just a goddamn cancer of this place. And all they do is consume everything that they touch, and they destroy it. Starting with you. All right? All right. Let's see if that's it on that. No, it's not. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. So your natural disasters. Your so-called natural disasters is not natural disasters. It's something that the Lord has created. It's on purpose. Okay? All right? It's not a natural disaster. The Lord intended for that to happen. Like how you have two wildfires on both coasts at the same time. You can't tell me that's not the Lord. The way that down south had got flooded. You can't tell me that wasn't the Lord. So you are going to give the credit to a man and not a power, God. You are going to say that somebody is manipulating the weather. Come on now. Do better. Do better. Tell me, how can someone create a wildfire at the same time and how treacherous it was? Tell me how someone can make a hurricane that almost wipes out an entire state. Please explain. Please explain those tornadoes. When you read the Bible, you see that natural disasters are in the Bible and how it's created, because the Most High gives the orders by the angels to do it. And no matter how much you try to stop it, or you think you can, it only stops when the Lord wants it to stop. Because if you see, people have died trying to stop the wildfires, tornadoes, and X, Y, and Z. People have lost their life. That's not man's work. That's the Lord's work. All right? All right. Which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So once again, this is all talking about punishment. The Most High vengeance of these spirits is causing the fury, destruction, force, wrath, like all these spirits, man. Because the Most High cares about his children. And you should care about yourself too. As a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you should care about yourself too. You care about your family. Stop worrying about everybody else. Learn how to be selfish for you and yours, for you and your nation, you and your people. And stop worrying about everybody else. They will be just fine without you. and you will be fine without them. Once again, segregation was the best thing that happened to us. Integration, if I'm saying it right, has been the worst of us, all right? When we integrated with them, that was the worst thing that ever happened to us, to this very day, because we barely have anything as businesses. We barely have anything to our names. All right. Now, let me see here. Where else do I want to go, man? Where else want I go? I got that already. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna jump to Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. First things first, I want to say that was absolutely a waste of time. It was garbage. It was a stunt, so that way Mike Tyson can, come up on $20 to $40 million, and nobody was doing anything in the ring at all. And although Mike Tyson was pretty good in shape at his age that he is right now, it was all for nothing. It was really just a stunt, just so that way he can get some money. Okay? And as you see, there was no damage. There was no damage to anybody, because the way that Mike Tyson was warming up, he got lethal hands. Okay? And he really could have done some damage to that boy, just like Floyd did to Conor McGregor. All right? But now, I don't know this, but I can't see Floyd Mayweather just at his age, being in his 50s, trying to just get money and not really want to fight. Because I'm sure he want to cause some damage, at least. But I don't know. But I just felt like a lot of people were upset. They felt like, they was bamboozled, which everybody really was. But yeah, it was just all a show, man. That's it. That older man, Mike Tyson, he just wanted to get his money. Okay? He just wanted to get his money, and that was it. All right? You know what I mean? So, but honestly, I know that he really would have caused some damage. And I should have really saw that he would have won that fight too, in my opinion. Okay? But with that, so with the spirit of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, with that fight, this is where I want to go. All right, hold on. Okay, I think I want to go here first, right? Let me see. Okay, this is the second Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 10, verse 23. And which is the greatest of all, the seal of Zion hath now lost her honor. Now we spoke about how we are the salt of the earth, but we lost our flavor, right? For she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. So the she is talking about Israel, right? This is a metaphor. But it says that which is the greatest of all, which the 12 tribes of Israel are the greatest of all, and the seal of Zion have lost her honor. Now, if you know what the seal of Zion is, it's the Dawadah. The Dawadah is the shield of David, that the world calls ignorantly the Star of David, which it is Hebrew. Okay, you got the Da, the Wa, and the Da again. You put it together, it makes that shape that everybody thinks is a star, but it's two triangles. One is at the top, one is at the bottom, and then the Wa really is the circle. All right, it's like a circle at the top with a stick at the bottom. Okay, so that's the Dawadah, right? Now, if you go to a Hebrew class, you will actually see that. All right, so when it says that we lost our honor in the seal of Zion, meaning that was one of our honorable things. That was our signature. All right, the shield of David and our glory all our, our glory, man. And the Most High glories us. We are glorified when we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Our glory is, having morality, having mercy, not want to unalive and, covet someone's woman. Like, that is our glory. That is our honor, because it honors the Most High. Okay? Go to him and him alone. Things of that sort, right? That is our honor. But we lost that because he gave it to another people. Which, once again, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. Every single time that we how do you say it? Every time that we degrade ourselves or we make less of ourselves, it gives our enemies power every time. You being a cop, you are giving your honor away. Now, can you be a cop and still be an EPK? Yeah, but it's going to be tough because the oppressor wants you to do the things that he does, which is oppress. Okay? He oppresses. And that badge is going to make you, eventually, if you do not make a decision out of that, it's going to, you can lose your honor, you can lose yourself. You're not a value to yourself or your people. But you give them all the glory, all the honor, and you have lost yours in return. Okay? Also, too, let me see. So with the whole boxing match, the whole fight, right? It was so dishonorable how Mike Tyson gave this white boy all this attention just for him to look like a fool at the end of the day. And he did it all for what? Money. All right? Okay, now the Bible does say in Ezra 9:12, trust not in their woman, I'm paraphrasing, or in their wealth. Don't trust in Esau's wealth, man. Money comes and goes, but don't lose yourself for the damn money. Have some morality about it. Have some damn integrity about it. That was all gone when we saw that fight. And then his brother Logan Paul had the nerve to say, after Mike had said, I'm going to fight him next, Logan Paul, he looked like a damn psychopath. And said, he's like, oh yeah, I'll effing destroy you. Or I'll destroy you or kill you, something like that. And I'm like, good night. Like the damn demons were just popping out of his, his pores. Like, goddamn. It was like, okay, I see. And as you know, Logan Paul is also a fighter as well. Or a professional fighter. But it just shows you that who really won that fight was Logan Paul. It wasn't because the referee said it, because there really wasn't much going on anyway, right? But it's just the fact that he got the recognition, he got the praise, and Mike Tyson just looked like he looked silly. All right, he looked dumbfounded because of that. It was all just for the money, and that was it. Okay, I guess he was running low. Who knows? Now, this is Baruch chapter 4, verse 3. And it reads, give not thine honor unto another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. So, so it's saying, give not thine honor to another. So once again, this is very, very important. Now you may ask yourself, how do you know this is speaking about a different type of, nation of people? It's because when you study the Bible, it always says Israel. Ask yourself, who is Israel? When you do your research, Israel are going to be the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian tribes. And that's something that you can research. That is not hard to do. Okay? Now, when you really study the scriptures and you look at the artifacts, you get all these different resources and you line it up with the Bible, you find out who they really are. There are 1,001 scriptures that can show who is who in that Bible and who this book belongs to. The audience, there's an audience for every book, right? And the audience is the 12 tribes of Israel. This book is only for a specific people, and that's God's chosen people. It's not for everybody. So don't give your honor to another. Don't give your honor to who? The oppressor, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of. To the Africans, who are the Hamites. To the Arabs, who are the Ishmaelites. To the Chinese, who are the Moabites. To the Japanese, who are the Ammonites. To the East Indians, I forgot about them. The East Indians, the one with the dot on the forehead, right? Who are not our people. Do not give your honor to the Elamites, which are the East Indians. Am I missing something? Let me see. I believe that's it so far. Amalek, who is, Esau, who is the white race. Nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. Now, let's touch on what is profitable. Your culture. That's what's profitable. Our culture is law, statutes, and commandments. Don't give them your woman, your men to marry. Don't give them your style, your sense of who you are. Of course, be yourself, but don't water yourself down for these people. All right? If you lose that job because you got an afro, or you got them braids, or you got a beard that's growing, get another one. Don't water yourself down, because this is what our culture is. This is how the Lord created us. We are in his image. So why would you water down his image? Okay? It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Are you ashamed of who you are? Are you ashamed to rock that shield of David? Are you ashamed to have multiple wives? Are you ashamed to rock your garments? Are you ashamed? All right. And it says that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. That strange nation are the people that are not your people. All right. The people that are not your people. That is the strange nation. Okay. So, for example, strange people, like if you live in the hood, and in the hood, you see Black and Hispanics, but then you see a whole collective of, other races of people that are not your people that just moving in, in the, in the hood, and like it just like you see a family and multiple families on that same block moving into your area. Like for example, like in Philly, there are certain parts of Philly that are extremely just population of Black people. But over time, white people started to move into those areas too, because they were gentrifying that area. And they would be considered the strange people. Okay? They would become the strange nation, or they are the strange nation, because they do not belong there. They are strangers. All right? That's what that is. Now, let me get this last precept. This is the one I really want to get. This is one of my favorite stories. This is the book of Judges, chapter 16, verse 25. So this is the story about Samson. How Samson had unalived a lot of Philistines, which are Africans, right? He unalived a lot of them with the jawbone of a donkey, but the Bible says an ass. An ass is a donkey, right? We should all know that. And it says, so now, of course, eventually he had got captured, right? And this is what it says. And it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, that they said, call for Samson, that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport, and they set him between the pillars. So, and it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, meaning that, they partying, they're drinking, they having a good time, and it was like, you know what? Let's call out Samson. That way he can make us sport. The word sport means to entertain. And also, too, this is what sport means, too. It can mean a few things, right? Sport, to amuse oneself, to engage in a sport, to mock or ridicule someone. Let's see here. A second definition of sport is sexual play. Not saying that's what happened here per se. Yeah, so the one that you want to focus on is to amuse oneself or to mock or ridicule something. And that's what happened. That's what happened with Samson right here. And they set him between the pillars. So pillars is something that holds up a building. All right, so they tied him up, and they wanted to be amused. They wanted to laugh. They wanted to see the sight of Samson being, bounded in bondage, right? Because they had him in the prison house, and they had him in between the pillars as well. Okay. Now, I say all that to say that was the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. It was all a sport when it was entertainment, humiliation. And that's what happens, what you see all the time. The reason why basketball is the way it is because it's ran by Black people. It's ran by, all these sports, Black Hispanics, Black Latinos, and Native Indians, all these sports that we dominate, who is the one running the team? The oppressor. And we are there for sports. That's why I forget the coach name when he made those racist remarks, as far as one of the basketball teams, right? Like, we are just there for their amusement. These sports, like just back in the Roman Empire time. In the Roman Empire time, they would have you naked and playing sports. And once again, they wanted to see your strength. They want to see you naked. They want to see, how your body moves when you running up and down that court. This is in the Roman Empire. What happened back then in our captivities, it's the same thing that's happening today. Right now in boxing, you are looking at another man's nakedness. You are exposing yourself. When you do track and field, you're wearing these short-ass shorts that do not belong on the man, right? And wearing this tight shirt and running around a track. You got basketball, where you are pretty much naked. You got football, where you're wearing tights, damn near leggings. Or better yet, spandex, which that's it. You got, just so many sports, just so many things to show you that this is for amusement and entertainment. Now, that's why it's called entertainment, because it's entertaining who? The oppressor. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to stop right there. There was no questions. All right? Catch us next time tomorrow for, scripture breakdown, Lord allow. Otherwise, with that being said, I imagine, which means to stand. All right? Give it to the Lord. Security announcements. All right. ISUPK security announcements. You got an ISUPK. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Group for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. after 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry, tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, Mayashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Now we have upcoming holy convocations. So the Feast of Dedication, or otherwise the Feast of Hanukkah, will be December 25th at sundown. All right, we're coming up and approaching it very soon. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, they start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That being said, once again, I imagine upon the house of down, which means to rise and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shekah, Yahweh, Malach Taba'ah, Batazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arakasa, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nastalanam, Lakam, Call, Yawan, Wasalak Nanawa, Kamawat Yanawa, Kazalak Nawa, Kamawat Yanawa, Wala'a, Taba'ana, Banasarawan, Abal, Hawashanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wakafarah, La Alamya, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever, so be it. Amen. All right. Let's get blessed Israel. Let me see. Blessed Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barak Manawa, Bayasha'ala, Wahabayat, Sapari, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Kawaraman. In the English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us in Yasha'ala and the school. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. All right, power structures. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. To evil the curses and punishment destruction to the heathen that speak against us. Thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. To evil the curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen. And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force the rich to enter thy sanctuary. To evil the curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood. All the governments are enemies. Amalek to the gods and armies. Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, proselytizing, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, works of witchcraft, Nazi space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the flames, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the flames shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down to find saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that is the angel that done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world, causing to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always, so be it. All right, Sar, which means to turn. All right. Men of Israel, my Shabbat, I imagine. Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakathon, Yasmatah. Men of Israel, my Shabbat, I imagine. Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alakah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yasmatah, class dismissed. Right.